Hello, we will now show you several useful hints and tips how to sharpen, profile and reprofile bowl, spindle and roughing gouges and the skew. We all know that having correctly sharpened tools is essential to enjoying all types of woodworking. At Robert Sorby we produce two sharpening grinds on our bowl and spindle gouges. They are standard and fingernail. The standard grind is easily achieved with the use of the standard gouge jig V-block. If a tool does not have one clean bevel and the shape has been lost, this can easily be corrected by following this simple process. This is done with a coarse 60 grit zirconium or ceramic belt. Firstly, we set the tool platform at 60 degrees and turn the gouge upside down so the flute is face down on the platform. Rest the gouge against the side of the V-block to keep it straight. Now we push the tool up to the belt and grind a little and check the progress. Keep doing a little and checking until there is a flat spot all the way round, showing a horseshoe shape as a guide to produce a perfect shape. The flat face of the horseshoe shows exactly where we need to remove material to achieve a sharp cutting edge. Now we set the table to 45 degrees and using the V-block, sharpen the tool until all the flat surface has gone. Change the abrasive belt to a finer 120 grit ceramic or zirconium to produce a sharp cutting edge. On the fingernail profile bowl gouge, the wings are swept back further to move the danger points apart and to give more cutting edge. The three danger points are the tip and the two shoulders, where a catch could occur, so moving them further apart limits the chances of a catch. The wings on the fingernail should be straight like this, so that a constant cutting surface is maintained. The fingernail profile, which is produced in the Robert Sorby factory, is very simple to replicate using the fingernail profiling arm. To convert a standard grind to a fingernail profile is also very simple by following the same principles. Firstly, we set the table to 45 degrees and using the side of the V-block as before, with the gouge face down, create the horseshoe shape. Once this is done, we need to set the bevel angle. We do this using the Pro Set. This allows for bevel angles of 35 to 50 degrees to be replicated time after time. Here we set it to 45 degrees. Now we remove the tool platform and install the fingernail profiling jig. We can now fit the fingernail jig boss to the ProEdge and insert the arm. The best way to achieve perfect form is not to swing from side to side, but to think of the gouge as three separate sections. 1 right wing, 2 left wing and 3 the nose. By doing each section individually, a much greater degree of control over the shape is achieved. Check the horseshoe and see where we still need to remove material. Flat surfaces reflect light, but sharp edges don't. This makes it very easy to see where we still have work to do. Continue the first procedure with the 1, 2, 3 until virtually all the flat surface is removed. Once we are close to removing all the flat face, put the 120 grit belt on and repeat 1, 2, 3. Finally, roll all three surfaces together to obtain a perfect shape and sharp edge. We now have a perfect fingernail gouge from one that was becoming unusable. We can also produce an extra long grind by using a similar method to the fingernail we have just seen. With the table set to 15 degrees, we produce our horseshoe. Once this is done, we remove the tool platform and place the Robert Sorby long grind jig onto the ProEdge. This jig has 3 settings: fingernail, long grind and extra long grind. For this gouge we are using the extra long grind position. With the gouge clamped into the fingernail profile arm, we produce the required shape by doing the 1, 2, 3 as we did before. We continue to do this until we have the perfect shape. After changing the belt to the 120 grit, we use one complete sweep from one side to the other to produce a smooth surface and a razor sharp cutting edge. Now we can use a similar principle for the spindle roughing gouge. Using the coarse 60-degree belt with the V-block and the angle set to 90 degrees. As we did with the bowl gouge, turn the roughing gouge upside down and hold it against the side of the V-block, and slide the tool up to the belt as before, ensuring we have a flat horseshoe all the way round. Once we have the horseshoe, we can set the tool platform to 45 degrees and place the gouge into the standard gouge jig ready to profile. As we did with the bowl gouge, we will do this as 1, 2, 3. Just a little at a time off each of the 3 sections to ensure we have total control over the shape, exactly as we did before. Once we are close to removing all the flat face, put the finer belt on and repeat 1, 2, 3. And finally, roll all 3 surfaces together to obtain a perfect shape and sharp edge. The skew can also benefit from a similar procedure when a loss of shape and profile occurs, particularly with the hardest to sharpen, the oval skew. With the coarse belt, set the tool platform at 90 degrees and place the skew jig into the slot. As with the other tools, hold the skew against the jig and gently push up to the belt. And in exactly the same way as we did before, do a little at a time until we have a flat face all along the edge. Now we have our guide to where we need to sharpen and how much needs to be removed to give a sharp cutting edge. For comfort, lay the belt assembly down. Set the tool platform to 15 degrees as stated on the angle setter information at the front of the machine. Rest the tool against the jig and with one hand on the blade and in line with the tool for greater control. Slide the tool down the side of the jig and allow the bevel to sit flat onto the belt, which will greatly assist the stability of the tool when sharpening. Allow the coarse abrasive belt to do the job it was designed to do by doing a little on each side, ensuring an even grind on both sides. Once we are close to our required profile, we now change to a finer belt to give a sharp cutting edge. We can also sharpen drill bits on the ProEdge. Place the tool platform at a comfortable position and push the drill forward, and ensure the face of the drill is flush with the belt. With the drill bit gently touching the belt, we slowly rotate the drill, keeping the face flush against the belt at all times. Then we turn it over and replicate the same procedure on the other side. There are a large variety of abrasive belts in different materials and grits available for the ProEdge. Their use varies from shaping and reprofiling to honing and polishing. Aluminium oxide is available in 60, 120 and 240 grit. It is suitable for high carbon steel tools such as woodworking and carving chisels. ZIRCONIUM in 60 and 120 grit is very good for profiling and sharpening high-speed steel turning tools. Ceramic is also available in 60 and 120 grit and is excellent for high-speed steel turning tools, but it works quicker and more efficiently than the ZIRCONIUM, therefore lasting even longer. TRIZACT is a layered abrasive belt that gives a surface equivalent finish to 600 grit, 1200 grit and 3000 grit. The precise positioning of the abrasive material allows the belts to give a fine, extra fine and ultra fine finish, and the layers give an extended user life. There is also a diamond belt available to sharpen materials that others cannot touch, such as tungsten carbide. The ProEdge can also be used to sharpen a variety of other blades and tools.